Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be doing the top 5 best seasons so far in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, I'm someone who has played Siege and been with Siege since the week 1 of the beta, and I just want to say that I genuinely do love this game. I do genuinely have a passion for this game, and I love it, and I want to see the best out of it. And we're going to be maybe saying some things that are a little bit harsh about it today. Also, we'll end up doing the top 5 worst seasons as well, so be sure to subscribe so you get that notification next week. With all that out of the way, let's hop into the top 5 best seasons in Rainbow Six Siege. I actually forgot to mention that I'm going to have an honorable mention, and I think Operation Health definitely deserves something, some type of recognition. Looking back, playing through it was absolute hell. It was absolutely not fun to play through. It was just another 3 months of content that we weren't getting. But now that we look back at what happened during Operation Health and what the dev team changed around or just fixed with the servers and issues within the game, we can't thank them enough. Like, genuinely, thank you to the devs for coming up with Operation Health. Some people were even begging for an Operation Health 2. It's kind of good to see that every season from Siege here on out is going to be half a season of Operation Health, kind of. The fact that the devs are going to start only giving us one operator is a bummer, but the fact that they're going to be fixing the game and fixing the issues within the game that have been plaguing it for so long is absolutely amazing. Coming in at number 5, we're going to be having White Noise, and I can't preface this enough that this is completely my opinion. We're going to be delving into some things that are completely subjective. You know, there are going to be people who absolutely love a season that doesn't make this list, or absolutely hate a season that might even be number 1 on this list. It was actually really hard outside of my top 3 finding 2 more seasons that I genuinely thought were the best seasons in Siege. There were 3 that were definite to me, and then 2 more that were just kind of there. I had about 8 more seasons that I could have picked from for the last 2 spots. But yeah, White Noise. Here's the bad things about it. Tower was an absolute atrocious map. I fucking hated that map. I think anyone and everyone agrees to this day that Tower is still the worst map in the game by far. Also, Ella was still broken as all hell. She was by far the best defender and the best operator in the game. She had like 51 rounds in her Scorpion Evo, and that thing could outbattle anyone at range. Like, genuinely imagine a demigod as an R6 operator, and that's what you get with Ella. However, the cool things about this season were that Zofia was added. She quickly became an essential operator to the meta. She had 4 concussions upon release, which I don't think a lot of people realize how broken it was. As well as Vigil, who was one of the best roamers in the game automatically. He was self-centered, definitely. He was a very selfish operator, but he was great with the fragging kit of a K1A and an SMG-12, which were arguably the 2 best guns you could have on defense in a kit at that time. For months, we have been begging for an operator that could hack defender cams or get rid of defender cams, and we got access to Dokkaebi, and Dokkaebi just quickly ran into the meta, and then, you know, with the next season, she ran right back out. Don't get me wrong, though, White Noise was definitely almost missing the list. Like, there were some stains on this season, such as Tower and Ella still being broken. I almost put seasons like Chimera for Outbreak in over it, or so on and so forth. The main reason why Chimera didn't make it was because Chimera was arguably the most unbalanced season Siege has ever seen. Coming in at number 4, we have Operation Shifting Tides. Now, this was absolutely essential to Siege still being alive today. I will say that forever. I think near the end of Ember Rise, kind of halfway through year 4, Siege really started to take a hit. Phantom Sight was absolutely atrocious. Nook and Warden weren't that fun to play. Ember Rise was all right, and then Shifting Tides just needed to hit the scene, and boy did it. Shifting Tides renamed Casual to Quick Match, which I really liked. I think that's a whole lot better name for it. It also reworked the limb penetration system, which was great. Capital, Ella, and Caveira all got elite sets in a 3-month span, so that was 1 elite set every single month. Props to the development team on that. Theme Park got reworked, which was a map that heavily needed a rework. I think it was one of the biggest maps in the game, if not the biggest. It completely removed Train, which was an annoying part of the original Theme Park, and fixed a lot of the lighting issues that the OG Theme Park had. Also, Callie added another sniper to the squad and an alternative to a Thatcher or a Twitch, which I really thought was cool. She would later get the SP SMG-9, which definitely helped her. She was released and she was literally not looked at all, actually, Wamai became a key piece of the new meta because he's just a Jaeger alternative. It took a little bit for people to realize how powerful he could be, ran alongside of Jaeger, and really he's just there for utility dump. But yeah, like I said, this season really needed to hit the scene running, and it did. It brought back tons of people to play Siege again, and it's kind of the reason why I'm back into the game. Year 4 just really wasn't a good year for Siege. I think a lot of people can agree on that. Coming in at number 3, we have Operation Red Crow. Now, this was the first season that I ever played on PC, and it was genuinely when hype began to rise for Siege. I was really surprised that Ubisoft already didn't abandon the game. They're known to do that with games that are kind of a critical failure. But hey, they did as they promised, and they stuck with Siege throughout the year. And honestly, a lot of people deem Siege a failure by about halfway through Operation Dustline, which is the second season ever. But when Red Crow hit, a lot of hype began to rise for the game. It began to kind of grasp a community, and that was good. It started to gain, momentum. Skyscraper was a bad map and still is a bad map, but it's one of the more middle-of-the-road maps. You're not going to say it's as bad as something like Fortress or Tower, but it's not as good as something like the new Oregon. New elite sets actually were added in the season. It doesn't feel like that long ago elite skins were added, but they were added all the way back in year 1, season 4. Sledge, Capcan, and Thermite all got elite skins this season. Caliber-based destruction was also added into the game. If you didn't know, bullets used to really not care. It would just destroy anything it could. Now a 5.56 round, does more than obviously just a pistol 9mm round. Hibana being added definitely changed the meta heavily as the new go-to hard breacher. A lot of people preferred Hibana now because of how safe she could do it from. Echo took some time for some to learn how to use. He was heavily regarded as one of the worst operators in the game until his drone was added another year later. Also, rest in peace SMG-11 ACOG, that was also removed during the season, and it was one of the most broken things in the game ever. If you actually had good aim, the SMG-11 ACOG was deadly. Coming in at number 2, we have Operation Parabellum, and this was the season that added Maestro and Alibi into the phase, and it introduced a ton of just pros. Like, honestly, this could make a run for the number 1 spot in a couple years if we look back and we decide it actually was amazing. So the first thing is obviously Pick and Ban. Pick and Ban was implemented this season, and wow, was it such a wonder. Like, genuinely thank God for Pick and Ban, because then you could get rid of operators who were annoying. You could target ban a really good player, anything you wanted to do, and it really just changed the way a team plays Siege now, and that's always great. Also, Clubhouse got a map rework, which was amazing. You got the connector between Cache and Bedroom that just wasn't there, and that was huge. They tried to rework the bar bomb site, and that failed miserably, but that's okay. I believe this was the first season that got a map rework other than Consulate. I think Consulate got one like very early in the game just because something on Consulate was just tremendously broken or something. I think they like added in split side or something. This was like a map buff in air quotes, and then after this the actual full-on map rework of Hereford Base came out with Grim Sky. But we also got Villa, which was amazing. We got a map buff and Villa, so it was like playing 2 new metas as well. Maestro was insanely powerful upon his release. He absolutely changed the meta, and of course an LMG with an ACOG on defense was absolutely insane. We had never seen that in the game before. Also, I think everyone remembers the Alda's hipfire. That was absolutely crazy. Like, literally was a laser at any range with a hipfire. I mean, Alibi is cool, I guess. I think she definitely provided a fun way to play the game and a great op for strategists or just people who just want to, mess around and have fun with the game. Also, the bulletproof cam was added, which down the road became an essential gadget for a lot of people. Just genuinely all around a great season. Also, this season is the reason why I do YouTube. This was the season that I believe I blew up in right at the end of Parabellum. It's about the last month of Parabellum. My YouTube kind of started to take a run, and I'm super thankful for that. So I owe a lot of credit to Parabellum. It's definitely up there. The last season coming in on the list at number 1 is going to be Operation Velvet Shell. I think this is pretty obvious for anyone who has ever played during this time and been a fan of Siege for a long time. Operation Velvet Shell is genuinely the best season by far. I don't think there's really any season that rivals that, even with as great as Parabellum is. And let's just go ahead and look at everything that came with Velvet Shell. So the brand new UI main menu. If you didn't know, Back during year 1, the main menu was actually really ugly, I thought. When they updated the UI for Velvet Shell, I went crazy. It looked modern, it looked sleek, it just looked really nice. It's basically the menu that we have today, if you didn't know. New rank icons finally hit, and they were a whole lot better looking than the OG ones. Just know that. We also got a Rook Elite, which, even though was ugly, it's another Elite skin, which is just absolutely crazy. We got Coastline, and it was a huge success at the time. A lot of people looked at it as by far the best map in the game. Jackal was incredibly fun. You know, he absolutely changed the meta. A lot of people said the C7E was absolutely amazing. The PW, or the PDW with like the drum mag on it, was really fun to mess around with. Just an all-in-one amazing operator. Also, Mira. People didn't really know how to use her yet, but however, halfway through the season, people found out how to use her and how powerful she was on certain sites like Oregon Basement, and how overpowered the Vector was at one point. That thing would literally rip through people because of its high fire rate. Also, Glaz got reworked. He finally got his thermal sight in this season, and yeah, I think that's hilarious that a lot of people don't know that Glaz's ability at once wasn't even that he had a thermal scope. I think that's funny that his gadget at the launch of Rainbow Six Siege was he's a sniper. Even though the Glaz rework was absolutely broken, you know, that thermal sight was stupid overpowered, it was still fun. I don't think really anyone was mad about it because of how hilarious and fun it was to use in casual. Just absolutely an absurdly good season. I wish that every season could be like Velvet Shell, but that's okay that it's not. That's literally like asking every season to be perfect. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe. Keep in mind that I'll be doing the top 5 worst seasons next week. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe so you get the notification for that video. Join the Discord with the link down below in the description, as well as follow my Twitch with the link down below in the description. And I will see you guys later. Peace.